When you hear the word Detroit, the first thing you think of is Motown,
soul,
Hitsville,
classics,
and all the heat that came out of the same studio for decades. Welcome to the Snake Pit.
Yo, this is Falmouth. You're kicking it in the Snake Pit, and this is Theorematic. Yeah, my dude Cancer killed that shit, man. It was the cover was basically a mix between two ideas me and Pat had. Pat 313, his idea was you know, basing it off the theme of the Snake Pit, the original Snake Pit, as a metaphor, you know what I mean, for what we were doing here, me and my people. What we were doing is an instrumental album, and I was always like, man, we need to come up with some like cool design like around it to make it ours, to make our own image out of it, and that's up till like the 23rd hour, we were like undecided on everything. And then when we pitched both ideas to my dude Cancer, he combined the ideas, and that's the cover. I was like, man, a bandana pattern. He was like, I know exactly where I'm going with this. Right. He went home, color schemed it, and sent it back a couple hours later. We're like, yep, that's fucking it. I wanted it to feel like certain parts was like, beyond just chopping the sample to threads, like I wanted to let certain spots roll and get that vibe of like those big vocal hits and them spots like that, them roars, you know what I mean? I tried to get those on a few tracks. Like I wanted it to feel extremely Motownish. Whether it was a Motown sample or it was somebody from Philly, wherever I got it from, I wanted to have a specific feel to it. That was the idea for that. There's maybe 4 or 5 tracks that are like more bangerish that aren't necessarily soul joints, because we wanted, you know, you want to keep it moving. It still feel like it's cohesive. So we had a few that didn't feel like that, but they still fit the project. But for the most part, that's where a lot of the long vocal samples and stuff come from. There's at least like 6 to 8 that are, there's moments I let them boys ride for 15, 20 seconds, you know? And that's like the ode to like the music, you know what I mean? That's for me, at least that's what that was. That's why I went for that, so you could get that feeling off of it beyond just chopping a sample to bits. There's a few that are super chopped up, but some aren't, on purpose. I started freestyling in like 2000, 2001. I had a cat I went to high school with. That's all he wanted to do was freestyle. So towards the end of high school, that's like all we did was freestyle in my room in my apartment. And we did that for about a year and a half, and I looked up and I was getting good. So I was like, I started taking it serious. I mean, I wasn't expecting to be like an MC. I always had it in my head I was gonna make beats even when I was a kid. I was like, I'm gonna make beats when I grow up. I remember filling out a thing in 4th grade about what you're gonna do when you get older. And I said I was gonna make beats for rappers, because I didn't really know how to explain it, you know? But I've always felt that way. But that's when I started freestyling. I took the MC aspect serious before I did the beat making process. I was strictly focused on battling and rap and doing tracks from age 18. So from 2001 till 2005, I started really getting back into making beats. But from 01 to 07, I stayed strictly focused on that. And then during 07 is when I put a lot of focus into making beats, so I could try to get on that level. About 2007, 2008 is when they started coming along pretty good. It depends. Like if I sat down right now and I got on fire writing and I feel like I nailed the track, that's the best feeling to me, because the creativity of it. Like, don't get me wrong, there's tons of creativity in making beats. Making beats is funner to me because like there's no block. I can just have fun and do it. But when I write, like I'm super critical. It can be unfun. So if I nail a track and I'm just feeling myself and I'm feeling it, that feeling tops making a great beat to me. If I know that I got a good song in front of me that I can spit. But a great beat and what I can do with it is a lot different than what I can do with my raps. So that's where my focus is.
So what takes you farther, do you think? Like, do you think
beats? That's why I'm so focused on it. If they were calling for me more rapping, I would be more focused on it. You know what I mean? I got people hit me up. They still want me MC, and I still MC. It sounds like I don't, but I still do. It's just my main focus is beats. Between beat tapes and like the artists I'm working with, I'm so focused on it that it's got to be a day where I'm just like I can't stop thinking of lines. If not, then I'm not writing. That's the only way I get into the writing process now. I've never had a sample sound. My sound is bass lines and snares. I mean, my beat tapes are soul. That's what I do. I put out soul beat tapes. That's got a sound. But if you listen to these projects I do with these other artists, I don't try to go into it like, this is no hate towards people. If you heard like a Ninth Wonder beat, you know it when you hear it. Everything is, no matter what he flips to a specific degree that's like him. So if you put on like a Ninth Wonder beat, I can usually call it like, oh, it's a Ninth Wonder beat. The only way you'll hear that with me is my beat tapes. I conform to the artist, not like as in like take a step back and do it their way. I try to figure out my own vision of who I think they are heading into the project. So that when I make it, it's not just me making a soul beat for them. It's me making what I feel is me and them is together. Us meeting in the middle. And all my projects are like that. I mean, Aztek, my dude Aztek, the beats I did for that, those don't sound nothing like what I do for King Gordy. And neither one of those sound anything like I do for the beat tapes. You know what I'm saying? So if you know me and you know the beat tapes, you're like, okay, this is what this guy does. That's my sound, beat tape wise. But when it comes to the artist, it's always different. The only thing that'll be a giveaway that it's still me, in my opinion, is the sound of the beat, because what I make it on, the bass lines and the snares. Bass lines basically, a lot of my whole bass feel is like the old Busta Rhymes projects. I love those big subtones, like DJ Scratch. Yeah, that's where, at least that's where the idea of it in my head comes from. How I make them, hitting the off spots, going high and low with the notes all over the place. You know what I mean? My dude Aztek. Aztek's about to drop a couple projects, a mixtape and an album, just me and him together for the project called Lion King. His mixtape's to pre-kill. You're gonna, before this even comes out, this is all gonna be on the internet. So, my dude Shimmy Bango, Bang Belushi from Fat Killers, we're dropping his album next month. So back to back, I'm doing a Bango project, and Tech's gonna drop his album like 6 weeks later. So we're dropping two real quick, and we're gonna promote the dog shit out of these things. My dude Jay Classic, out of emcee, super nice. We're halfway through his project right now. My dude, me and Ife from Clear Soul Forces, we're halfway through our project right now. Who am I missing? I think so those are the 4 albums that are coming up. Those guys, True Classic, that's my guy. King Gordy, that's my guy. I'm doing half his record, Anakin. He's putting it out through Magic Ninja Entertainment. He's got his outlet through there. And Vicious, I did half Vicious record. I don't think I'll have so many joints on this new one. I'll have at least 2 or 3, but not as much as I did on the last project. But that's it. That's basically my team right there. Club Rock 2 out of New York. We're gonna be doing something too. We're already starting to work on that. That's gonna be a minute. My dude Jake New out of Detroit. He stays out in Florida right now. He's super focused on writing. We got a project that's halfway in the works too. But all these albums that I'm naming are all projects that I either did the whole thing or half of, that'll drop over the next year. All of them, literally every single one of them. That's the great thing. It's about, like I was talking about Detroit, like if you can put out great music here, like you're really doing your thing, because it is hard to be great from this area and get your notice, and get your due. So being a part of that, a lot of people, they take that for granted. I mean, we're 15 minutes from Canada. I'm 12 minutes from downtown. You know what I mean? Like, it could be way worse. I could have grew up in a suburb in Iowa. You know what I'm saying? And not really known like how great it is to be from Detroit. People take they take that for granted.